We'll give it just a minute, see if anybody comes in. If not, we're going to run with it. My name is Kayla, and this is Lady in Red Tarot. I am going to try and read. Oh man, I'm having some camera issues here. It looks like it's going to keep moving on me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We are going to try and read for Texas. Today is Texas's 183rd birthday, declaring independence from Mexico. And I am a native Texan. I have lived here my whole life, and I am a very proud and what's the word? We tend to be very prideful people. In fact, as soon as I started pre-shuffling and meditating, it was like that was all that just kept coming out was the pride, right? Also, these cards, I'm just trying to shuffle. I'm not trying to get a message right now. And they are so excited to be used. They don't get used that often, and man, they're coming out. I feel like that's really dirty. Hopefully not. Okay. So, I'm going to do a couple different things here. I'm going to try and read like I normally would, and we're going to see what happens. And then I actually got out the archetype cards, which I ordinarily don't use that often. I don't find that, in general, people are particularly like stoked by the archetype cards. I think we all kind of function within the concept of, a number of different archetypes all the time. It just depends what we're going through. So I am going to use the archetype card just because, like I said, Texans were prideful people, and we like to stroke that ego sometimes. And I think sometimes the archetype cards are fun for that. So, and then because it's Texas, and it's part of the Bible Belt, and it's they say that God bless Texas. I pulled out the prayer deck as well, so we're gonna see if there's any messages there that need to be had. So, obviously take that for what it means to you. If you are a native Texan and you don't happen to be Christian, or you don't happen to you don't necessarily have a religion, that's fine. Take it for what it is. But yeah, I guess we'll see where this goes. 2 more shuffles here, and we will get started. Okay. So what do people in Texas need to know? Okay. First card is the World card in the upright. Ooh. I feel like there's a giant stack of cards that it wants to give me here. Okay, well, it's telling me, so far, past energy for Texas, and this is for the people of Texas, the history of Texas, the Texas culture that exists. And if you live here, we have our own unique culture, is the world. And so, I kind of see that as Texas is this place of abundance and opportunity. Present energy is the Ace of Swords. Which to me, I think, and the Justice card, okay. So to me, let's see. Okay, so I say presently, Texas, we are a little bit out of balance. I think, which that makes sense to me. We're starting to change a little. Um, Historically, we've had a very stout standpoint, politically, religiously, like, in general, Texas kind of is known as having this um this culture and this identity that's very firm and very rooted in these particular elements, especially politically and religiously. So I think we're seeing some shifts in that presently, and we're seeing some change in the way Texans are approaching politics and religion. And um, and I don't think that discredits the history of the past in the sense that Texas is this place of abundance and opportunity. I think that's true. Um, when we're looking at, uh, I've been looking at positions in different states and stuff like that. And one thing that we always talk about is, there's no state income tax. And hello, Pearl, how's it going? So I'm actually doing a reading for Texas, and the people of Texas. Today is Texas's 183rd birthday. And so far we've just done past and present energy. Um, I really do think that Texas is in this place. I am not in Austin. I'm actually about an hour and a half from Austin. So, um, I think we're in this place of changing, and I think that's something that we're definitely seeing more of, as people like Beto come forward, out of El Paso, and more people emerge out of Austin, for example. Pearl, and Dallas, the big cities are really kind of starting to change. Um, you know, uh, I don't want to say colors as far as like blue or red, but kind of, I think more people are, I spent time in the US. Very cool. That's awesome. Um, but yeah, so I think we're starting to change a little bit. And I think it's starting to not be so we're Texas and this is what we are. I think it's starting to look a little bit more like we're a little bit more open minded. Hello. Hey, that's all I see. I don't see a name there. All right. Can we get future energy on Texas right now, please? I will be taking tarot questions actually here in just a little bit. I want to do this reading for my state here, and then I will actually take some questions. Your ex is from Dallas. Well, I think we might all have an ex from Dallas. All right. So future energy is the Queen of Wands. Can I get one more card, please? Oh, there it goes. Page of Swords. Okay. So I do think, so future energy, I see some changes in the sense of, I think this shift that we are doing as far as going from, pretty conservative to maybe opening up to a little bit wider perspectives. Austin, they always joke about like keep Austin weird, and it's because Austin is kind of like the central hub of Texas in the sense of, I mean, obviously it's the capital, but it's also probably one of the most diverse cities you can be in Texas, as far as religious, political, multiculturalism. Like it's a really broad spectrum area, and so I think. I've had this conversation with friends recently quite a bit about how the major cities are shifting quite a bit, and we're really starting to see that in our politics. And so the future energy for Texas right now is this Queen of Wands energy and the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords to me is always kind of about looking back over your shoulder and maybe kind of clinging to an old energy. with this Queen of Wands energy, it's to me that card is a little bit ominous. And not necessarily in a negative way, like in a growth way, but it's also like it's a stressful growth, if that makes sense. Like it's not the most comfortable of growth phases, and I think that makes sense to me when I'm thinking about the Texas that I know and I love, and um, the way it has evolved just in in my lifetime, and the way that I'm starting to see it kind of reshape itself. Um, so I think Texas, can I get one more card on that Queen of Wands? Ooh. Okay. Do you know if the stand-up comedy scene is good in Austin? I do comedy. I have actually been to a comedy club or two in Austin, and I mean, I enjoyed them, but I'm probably not the hardest person to make laugh, I'll be honest. So, I thought it was this little tiny place in the middle of a mall in Austin. It was little bitty, and I had a great time. It was a bunch of people who were just kind of, I think, honestly, up and coming. So I wouldn't be able to tell you for sure if they have like a poppin' comedy scene. I could see that though. I mean, it's a huge city. Also, Houston is not too far away, and Houston, I would say, probably does have a very strong comedy community going on. So the clarifier on that Queen of Wands was the Two of Swords. Um, to me, I think this points to our need, Texans, to kind of let go of that pride. And like I said, whenever I even started the pre-shuffle, kind of the first thing that started coming into my head was like, as Native Texans, we're so prideful, and to the point that, true story, I almost got kicked out of a bar in Baltimore because because somebody was talking crap about Texas. So um, we take that very personally, like as a culture, we are very protective of our state, even though we know it's very, there's no question it has its flaws, and we as Texans, we definitely have our flaws, and one of those is that our pride sometimes can be a little bit over the top. But I kind of feel like this Two of Swords, it's like we're gonna have to kind of make a decision, and I think we're gonna be seeing ourselves making that decision in the next few years, as we shift to, I think, a more open perspective, a willingness to take in everybody's perspectives and kind of see like, all right, are we really far right, or are we maybe more in the middle? Do we subscribe more to the left? And I think historically we've been very far right, but I feel like we're definitely moving into a space where more and more people are kind of in that middle section, or even a little bit to the left, and that's politics. But I think that's true, with religion as well. I work in an industry that is a little bit more open-minded typically. But I feel like a lot of the people that I know are not sitting so hard on that right side anymore, whereas when I was younger, I really remember that being such a predominant piece of Texas culture. So I apologize. My throat has been sore now for days. Okay. I don't know. What else do we want to know about Texas? How are we going to handle said shift? Oof. 2 cards. 3 cards. 3 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. So 3 of Pentacles and 2 of Wands are in reverse. Are you a Beto supporter? I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the most aggressively involved person when it comes to politics. So it's hard for me to to commit one way or the other. I tend to not be super far right, but I also don't really think of myself as super far left either. So, um, Three of Pentacles. I really feel like this is almost going to be like a divorce of the old way. What, baby? Sorry, my child likes to periodically shout. Go to sleep, sweet pea. I feel like it's going to be a divorce of the old way, and I feel like it's going to have us very much looking, ordinarily I would say looking back, but I almost feel like Two of Wands in reverse. Like it's going to be a stagnant moment for us. Like it's going to be there's going to be a lot of frustration, I think, as a culture, because we're going to have this group that's going to be looking back, going, no, like we need to cling to the old way. We need to cling to, you know, excuse me. We need to cling to what we have like long held as important, whatever that happens to be, you know. And in my opinion, I know what I think those are, but you know, with the Three of Pentacles, that references sometimes the religious perspective. And I think in this particular instance, we're going to try and separate from that a little bit. You know, Texas has been known to really protect that Christian value, especially when it comes to in God we trust, right? Like when I first started in elementary, we did the Texas pledge. So Texas actually has a pledge. A lot of people don't realize that. What, baby? Go to sleep, sweet pea. Has a Texas pledge. And when I first started going to school, there was no, God was not mentioned in the Texas pledge. I think Bernie will win 2020. I'm not sure how that's going to go down in Texas. I don't know. You know, with what I know about the culture here, I don't know that Bernie, I think Beto would be someone that people would be rallying behind before Bernie, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't, you know, again, like I said, I'm not the most aggressively involved person when it comes to that. But yeah, I kind of feel like this is almost a divorce of the old way. And so separating ourselves from that need to connect everything to religion, to protect Christianity instead of protecting religion. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I have those arguments a lot with people, in a sense of our need to protect the right to religious freedom, you know, and a lot of people don't see it that way, especially when people are particularly conservative. They might really only protect or only want to protect the Christian perspective, you know. So Queen of Pentacles, I feel like that protect and love of Texas that we all have, I don't see that going away anytime soon. And I kind of feel like we are going to be, like I said, I think there's going to be this stagnant moment, or even this cathartic moment of, whoa, we have really shifted, you know. And I think that's going to be hard for a lot of people, you know, as the state starts to change. And it already has, but I don't know. This is interesting. I've never read for a state before, so this is new. But yeah. What other questions do we have? You guys have anything you want to throw out? I'm sorry, my nose and my throat is killing me. Pearl, you got any questions you want to ask here? You're from Australia, so I don't know if you have a deep investment in Texas, but let's go ahead and do an archetype card. Let's see what our archetype card will look like here. Ooh, that was quick. I don't know. That's a good question. So our archetype card is the guide. And the light attribute, so the way with the archetype cards work, they have like the positive component of that archetype and the negative component of that archetype, or what they call the light and the shadow side. So the light attribute for the guide is that it represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And I could get behind that. I feel like being Texan is almost a spiritual thing. Let me ask for someone who's only been there twice. Well, hey, come on down. We'll go ahead and, I can't even think of the word right now for some reason. I don't. We'll deputize you, Texan. That's a. And then the shadow side is places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. I think that makes sense. Texas is very business friendly. In fact, that's the reason that there are so many businesses here. Like, a lot of companies will move to Texas. It's a very business friendly state. They have the at will employment in the sense that they can, an employer can fire you for looking the wrong way, Also, they're forgiving in the way of taxes, on big businesses. So yeah, I think the guy makes sense. And like I said, I do think that light attribute, being Texan, is almost a spiritual experience in and of itself. We are so serious about our Texan status. Like if there was a card, I had an argument with someone not too long ago where they were explaining to me how they maintain their citizenship in another state. And I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean citizenship? Because isn't that like a thing that is with like countries, like, okay, I have United States citizenship, or like Pearl, Australian citizenship, right? So they were trying to explain to me, or residency was the term of it, right? And how they maintained their residency for this particular state was they kept paying in state taxes, even though they hadn't lived in this particular state for years. And I was just like, I'm confused. I don't think I have to pay state taxes to be a Texan. Like, I was born here. Like, I couldn't process it. I was like, I don't get what you're saying. Like, I was so confused by it. But anyway, that's a thing, is that I don't need to pay taxes to be Texan. I was born here. Like, if I leave here and I don't move back, for the next 30 years, I'll still be Texan in my soul. Like, that's how serious we are, about it. Okay, and because it's Texas, and again, like I told you, the religious, man, that was so quick. I'm gonna pull that one out. We're gonna give it a second, see if there's any more. But because it's Texas and religion in general is very powerful and serious, it's taken very serious here. I went ahead and pulled out the prayer deck cards because, hey, it only makes sense to me. So we got 2 cards here. The first one is by Saint Francis of Assisi, 1181 to 1226. Most powerful, most high, most holy, most supreme Lord, you alone are good, and all goodness comes from you. May we give you all praise, all glory, all blessings, and all honor. And I will say, the whole time I was shuffling these in the pre-shuffle, cards kept jumping out, and they kind of all had the same feel to me. And it was like that concept of like, check yourself, before you wreck yourself, right? And again, it's that coming back to that that pride thing, right? So the other one is Ralph Waldo Emerson, 1803 to 1882. For each new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything that goodness ends. Father in heaven, we thank thee. So those are our prayer deck cards. And like I said, when I was in the pre-shuffle, it just kept giving me cards that kept, to me, in my opinion, they kept reminding me, like, it doesn't need to be so much about our pride. It needs to be about what is really the best for this state. 183 years is a long time. And we have a rich and prideful history that we take a lot of pride in. I was digging through my stuff trying to find my Davy Crockett shirt earlier, because I have this shirt that I bought at the Alamo. And if you've never been to the Alamo, you should go. It's Davy Crockett. And on the back it says, it's a quote that he said, and the quote says something like, um, you can all go to hell and I'll go to Texas or something like that. So, which David Crockett's pretty legit, but anyway, okay. So it's only been 25 minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. So I'm just going to open it up. Do you guys have any random questions you want to ask? Anybody want me to pull a card for you? I'll happily pull a card for you if you got something going on. I got some time to burn. You still there? Looks like you were taking some tarot questions. Are you were looking for some tarot questions? Oh, man. I can't shuffle to save my life right now. Anybody? Any questions? Let's make sure this thing, I'll ask. Okay, Pearl, what you got? Do you have anything specific, or you just want me to do a general here? We could do a general, see what's going on. Pearl in Australia. We'll find abundance back in Australia. Okay, let me see. You're in London right now. Gosh, Pearl, you are a world traveler. What is that picture of, if you don't mind me asking? Is that you, or is that, it almost looks like an older picture, like the sepia tones, you know what I'm talking about? You're struggling financially. Okay. B. Arthur. Oh, okay. I was like, I can't. The picture's like this big on the screen. When she was young. Huh. All right. Pearl in Australia. I'm sorry, you're in London currently. What's going on with Pearl right now? 2 more shuffles. Whoops. That's cool. All right. Pearl, what's going on? You just threw 19 cards. Ugh. All right, these 2 landed up, so we're keeping those. Sometimes there's a lot to say. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, Pearl. There is some sort of decision that's pending finality right now. And I'm going to guess that is probably about moving. It sounds like you said you're going back to Australia potentially. And there's some sort of delay surrounding this right now. Give me a 4 of Wands, which to me makes me feel like either it's a relationship that is holding you back. Sometimes this is marriage, but I don't feel like that's necessarily what it is, because I feel like the foundation is not as sturdy. Let's see if I can get another card here. Ooh. There we go. All right, Page of Pentacles in reverse. You were told your soulmate is in London. Well, I mean, let's see. Page of Pentacles in reverse. A crush who lives here, and I've been told there's a future. But whoever this crush is, he's going through a divorce. Okay, I was gonna say he's not making an offer. So, is he gonna make an offer? Let's ask. Knight of Swords. Okay, So I'm not going to say that's an offer, but I do feel like there is a quick close coming. So I don't know how far along he is in that divorce. But it looks like there is a decision that whatever's been delaying this. So if it's that you're kind of holding off because of this crush, it looks like to me that piece, that component is about to be wrapped up very quickly. And the Sun card popped out in the reverse. So to me, it kind of feels like it's not going to be the answer that you want. I know this is not great news. Let's see. Oh man, it's just throwing cards right and left here. Maybe we should pull a love card for you. You want an Oracle Angel card here? That's okay. Yeah, he's not doing anything right now. Okay. All right. So, Pearl, have you even put it out there yet? Because to me, you got the Knight of Pentacles here, which is like very painfully slow-moving offer. Probably go back to Australia, save money, and then move back to the U.S. Yeah. Yeah, because to me, it looks like if you've made an offer, you're not exactly, well, like you said, it's a secret crush. So are you going to put this out there, man? Like, sorry. No, not the right time. He's actually American. Oh, okay. So he's going through a divorce. So you've just been hanging around waiting on this thing, and you're struggling with the financial piece. What's the best thing for Pearl right now? Six of Wands in the reverse. Well, I do feel like London would be a great place to have a social life. Okay. So I got the Six of Wands in reverse, i.e. no news, right? No news, nothing happening here, okay? And then I got the Ten of Swords in reverse, which to me feels like you've got a new beginning that you're currently missing out on because of this, like, stagnancy over here, okay? So the Judgment card, the delay, like, who told you I'm lonely and bored in Australia, but I need the money? Who told you that there was something there? Like, did he say that? I assume it's a he. I don't know if it's, I shouldn't say that. Did they say that? Because to me, there's a new beginning to be had here. And gosh dang, Pearl. Okay, I wish I could show you all these cards running around. All right, of the 40 cards that flipped out, only one flipped upright, and that was the Ace of Cups. Okay, Pearl, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think this dude in London is your thing. I think there is somebody back home in Australia that is the real deal, okay? And it's not a secret crush. It's like something actually culminating. It's a new beginning. So, but you know, I don't actually see you moving here. So maybe they are hidden in London. Lots of live psychic mediums. They said yes, but not now. In the future, they said we'll just be friends for a while. Huh? Okay. Well, I was gonna say I'm not actually seeing you move here, but the Magician. You, which you just confirmed for me, the Magician card. Pearl, how many psychics and mediums are you asking about this? Because I hate Australian men all my life. I've been told my soulmate is Thorin. Interesting. Yeah, you're manifesting so hard right now, man. Like, you're like, I'm gonna get the answer that I want. Yeah, I don't actually see you moving here. I see you hanging around, but that right now is not a happy ending. Every night? Oh my gosh, Pearl, what are you doing? Okay, what I really want to get the Rebel deck out, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Pearl. We're gonna have a separate conversation on that one because they got all the details without me telling. I want to get the Rebel deck out and give you the hard advice, but I can't do that on YouTube because it's inappropriate. So go to sleep, baby. I mean that with love, obviously. But for real, like if you I want the you want the hard advice, yeah. Okay. Send me send me an email, all right, ladyinredtarot@gmail.com, and I will do a separate Rebel deck reading for you, and I will send that to you, okay? Because this is I think you need the hard advice at this point because one, if you're asking new people every single day, um, energy doesn't even work that way, right? Like it doesn't even um like the deck will get upset when I ask it the same question too many times. You know what I'm saying? So if you're constantly asking the guides, spirit guides, whatever, to give you the same answer to the same question or give you a different answer to the same question, well, eventually the energy is going to kind of turn and just be like, okay, well, at the end of the day, like you have a lot of control on this. So this is a secret crush right now. I kind of feel like the only way that this is gonna pull together, okay? And I got the Queen of Swords, Ten of Cups, and Temperance. So I don't think this is about waiting, okay? I don't think this is about balance and the right time and all of that, okay? I feel like if you want the Ten of Cups, you got to be the Queen of Swords, all right? Like you have to come into the like if this person, if you're really serious, he comes up in my pick of cards, my future soulmate is going through a divorce. Yeah. And divorces are the freaking worst, okay? And most people are not even sort of a little bit functional or ready for a relationship when they are in a divorce. He comes up in my pick of cards. Going through divorce. Okay, gotcha. He can chase me. If we were meant to be, we'll be. Okay. Well, he can chase you, but here's the deal. A predator is not going to chase what it does not know is, out gallivanting in the woods, right? It's gotta track down what it actually is looking for, right? So you got the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Temperance in reverse. So to me, it's like speak the truth, man. Speak the truth, and then let the cards fall where they may, right? Then you can let go. Because I don't feel like this is about balance and about timing per se, you know. I think this is about just being honest and being genuine. Now, I will say I'm pretty biased in that sense. Like I much prefer the truth over anybody BSing me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd much rather just put it out there and say, okay, well, you know where I stand, and then walk away, right? And that's my personal preference. A lot of people are not like that. But to me, Queen of Swords, Ten of Cups, 10% reverse is like say the truth and let the cards fall where they are, okay? And you might be surprised. Like it might not even be that happiness comes from the relationship. The happiness comes from the fact that you were bold, right? You were bold in who you are, how you feel, what you're thinking. You put it out there and then you let it go, right? Like that's a pretty like independent boss move, you know? Um, what baby? Go to sleep. This child was supposed to be in bed a while ago. Anyway, so yeah, Pearl, girl. The energy I get here is kind of angsty. Like, me, I guess. You mean like you feel angsty? You feel anxious? The idea of putting it out there makes you want to like throw up. The idea of like being like, hey, I'm super interested. And when you get your life wrapped up and you feel like you're a together human being who is capable of pursuing a relationship, I'm interested, just FYI. Like that idea makes you want to barf. Because I kind of feel a little like, ugh, like if that makes sense. It's too soon. The wife is still around. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Pearl, I need a timeout. I need to check on this child real quick because he won't stop yelling. And then I'll be right back, okay? So don't run away, okay? What baby? What you need a light? No, you get back in your bed. Okay, so I'm back. Ow, that was my knee. Okay, all right. So yeah, if this dude is in the midst of a divorce, wife is still around. What's his energy? Let's do that. Let's just do that. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. His energy is not great. It's definitely in the middle of an ending. Death card. He's Capricorn. Injustice. Good Lord. The cards are being very direct. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Wife might still be around, but this thing looks dead. Okay, it does look dead. They only just had a baby in August. God, that is freaking sad. I mean that with the utmost respect. I went through divorce. That stuff is brutal. Like that. So my heart goes out to whoever this person is because that's rough. You know, new baby and middle of a divorce. This thing looks like it is done. You know, it's on its way out for sure. This isn't a like they're having the baby and gonna try and work it out. Like it really does look like it's done. So I feel like you're probably safe to say, just FYI, I'm into you. I know this is not a great time for you right now. So, you know, I don't want you to feel like you need to ante up or anything, but just hit me up whenever you know, move forward. or whenever you feel like you can move forward, because that might be another year from now or whatever. You don't know where you're going to be, Pearl. You might have found the love of your life by then. Again, I don't think your 10 of Cups here is about the relationship all of a sudden just popping into existence. I kind of feel like the 10 of Cups is the positive energy that comes from being genuine, right? Being honest, putting out what you really feel, and then letting go, right? I mean, all of us at some point have to do that, right? Especially as adults. I feel like when you're younger and you're in relationships, it's kind of like, it's all so naive and ridiculous, and but when you're older, I feel like you kind of have to do that, where you kind of have to be in this place of like, I'm interested, but if this doesn't work out, I'm not banking the farm on it or anything, especially post-divorce, just FYI. I don't know. I don't know what your relationship history looks like, Pearl. We haven't read on that, but post-divorce, hello. You definitely become, I think, a little bit more naturally guarded, so I think even if this, when this person gets through this, which is not the sexiest spread here, okay? Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Death card, and Justice, right? Whenever this person gets through this, it's still going to take a little bit. So I mean, I think you're right. I think your timing is like, it's not great timing. So maybe you just put it out there and then you walk away. You let the cards fall where they are, I don't think it's, I'm sorry, I keep talking to your messages, like your messages are talking directly to me. I mean, which they are, but anyway, yeah. So, man, Pearl, you should check back in with me next time I do a live. Let me know how things are going. Eleni, let's see if I can get a reading. I wanted to ask how love looks this year. Absolutely, Pearl. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Sure, we can try it. Let's see what's going on. Eleni, how do you say your name? Can you do the little, you know what I'm talking about? It's not like I could read that anyway. I'm not gonna play with you. I don't even know if I could, but Eleni Selassie. Will I get engaged? And will it be difficult to choose between two guys? Well, shoot. If there's a possibility of two guys, I would assume it would be difficult. I mean, that's just my gut reaction. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I actually have my oracle cards over here too. We could. Oh man, what are you doing? Stop creeping. Hey, go lay down. Eleni. Sound Eleni. It sounds like a lady. A lady. Okay, Eleni. Got it. Okay, Eleni. Am I saying it right? Yes. Cool. Lady. All right, give me 1 second. Let me go tuck this kid back in, and then we will jump into yours, okay? Come on, sweetie. Yes, come on. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. My sweet little darling tries to drag out bedtime as long as he possibly can. All right. A lady. Sounds like a lady. Okay. Lady. She's got two guys to choose from here. Will it be difficult? Guess it depends if one is awesome and one is horrible or not. You know, they're both amazing, but yeah, tough. All right, let's get one more shuffle in here. All right, first guy. Let's talk about him. Ooh. All right, first guy. Okay. So first guy, I think he's coming across as Nine of Cups energy. So he's coming across as like very abundant. Like he might be I don't want to say the wealthy one, but the one that is like definitely doing pretty well for himself. He's particularly self-assured in the sense of he's very confident in himself. And I think he views you as the Queen of Pentacles. I think he views you as someone who is very stable, very kind of in control and well managed. And because of that, he's got this Three of Pentacles energy. So he sees you as the person that he would want to wife up. So I definitely think that whoever the first guy is, and I'm going to let you dictate who that is. Okay. So you can, I'm sure you know which one this is. He is interested, Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie is definitely interested in going to the altar, right? Okay. Ronnie strikes me like he could maybe be a little bit arrogant. Okay, just FYI. All right. Let's look at guy number 2. Ugh. Throwing that one out. Okay. That's that one. I think you might have some tough decisions ahead of you. Oh, there it goes. 2 cards. Okay. Okay. Guy number 2, I think, is not as so self-assured. Okay, he got the strength card in reverse. So in my opinion, the second guy, he's a little bit more like, I think he's the like really sweet, really really like intuitively like about you. Okay. And so much so that I've got the 2 of Cups here. Okay. So to me, this guy is a little bit more like, I think he was ordained. Like, I think whoever this guy is, he was put in your life for a reason. Like, I feel like he was put in your life to maybe help you grow in some way. Maybe there was something going on. This guy might have been the rescuer or the shoulder to cry on from maybe a prior relationship, or like some bad stuff that was happening in your life, or maybe just a tough situation. I don't know. To me, this guy is like the sweet soul. Like, this is the guy that, like, he's not as in control of his life as this guy, right? As the Nine of Cups guy. But he helped me unknowingly. Yeah. To me, this guy is like the genuine one. Okay. Like, and not that Ronnie is a genuine, but I'm so sorry. My throat is killing me. To me, this guy sees carrying your burdens as like a delight. Like he sees it as like he is ready to be there, even spiritually as well. Yeah, that makes sense to me. The Two of Cups. So this right here, right, is kind of an indicator of like, God or whoever, the universe, right, leading or guiding or directing that relationship, creating that on purpose for some sort of reason. And sometimes these are meant to last, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's meant to just. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be talking this much. Like the universe is directing this. Okay. So the way he sees you right now is the Ten of Wands in reverse and the Hanged Man in reverse as well. So to me, he is not about resting on his laurels with you. I mean, he wants to put in the work, and he sees every lift with you as a joy, like as something that like he is benefiting so much from just being in your life, and he sees it that way. Like you may not feel that way. You may not feel like you may feel like you're continuously crying on this person's shoulder, or you're like continuously like, man, I'm just always kind of bringing the vibe down or whatever. But he sees it as like he loves being that person for you, right? He loves being that person carrying all the sticks up that hill, right? For you. And he doesn't have to sit back and think about it. Like he already knows where he's at. Okay. Like to me, this guy is very legitimate. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to take this? So let's do, how do you feel about Ronnie? Six of Swords. Okay. Ronnie and George. I once dated a guy named George. He was a doll. Ugh, okay. Ace of Cups. I want. Okay. Just an Aries. Okay. So the way that you're kind of, I think, perceiving Ronnie right now, or your relationship with Ronnie, is you're kind of hanging around, but I don't think you're keeping him in the picture, but I don't think you see him as the great love that you want. Does that make sense? So you got the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So, I don't feel like you guys are necessarily like fighting, or there's any kind of like negative energy here. I just kind of feel like you're not like, I kind of feel like Ronnie doesn't make you feel maybe as heard as George does. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's see how you feel about George, okay? Oh goodness, that one came out quick. Okay. 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 Knight of Wands in reverse. Lovers in reverse. Ten of Swords and Queen of Swords. You only met Ronnie 3 to 4 weeks ago? Or George? Oh, Ronnie, because George was in love with. Oh, you were in love with George all of last year. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you were in love with George all of last year, the cards look like your soul has shifted slightly. So Ronnie, you're not convinced yet. And that's super clear because your cards are really kind of like they're kind of they're not like anybody's madly in love or anything like that. But the energy is not negative, but it's not overwhelmingly positive either. The energy with George, however, is like okay, so we got the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. So to me, it's like George sees this as like a ordained, like this was an intentional thing, but you maybe aren't as convinced. And I even kind of feel like maybe you were going to shut it down on George at some point, or he was going to shut it down on you because you got this Ten of Swords here, followed by the Queen of Swords in reverse. What happened here? Hold on. Oh, I've been drawing cards all night. Ten of Cups. Can I get one more card? Something happened with him, girl. You haven't seen him since August. Yeah, okay, so it's like all of a sudden he got super happy and then you got super stressed. So I'm wondering if either he ran into another relationship or was he friend zoning you the entire time? Because he really thinks highly of you, but it's like maybe he just wasn't. You're an Aries. Ten of Swords. So it ended abruptly. He wasn't acting like he wanted to be with them. The Hierophant. Why didn't he want to be with you? The Hierophant in reverse. Oh, you just told him this recently? So I almost feel like there was some sort of like super committed, like, okay. I almost feel like somebody came back from his past who he had like a really strong connection with in the past. Like maybe such a strong connection that it was a marriage or it had at one point been a very like a very committed relationship or something. It's like it the Hierophant to me is usually either an indicator of a marriage, divorce, a job, some sort of like conformity that kind of requires people to fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Like the old ball and chain or whatever. And I kind of feel like whatever whatever came up, I mean, it made him happy. but he just like reemerged, or did you reach out to him? Um, Hold on, I need to shut up for a minute. Hmm. Does George have kids? Hmm. Did he respond back? Because his energy is happy. No response. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like what's got him right now is something, and I really think it's a former relationship, and there to me there might be kids involved. Like s- it's like something came out of the woodwork because he thinks highly of you. He liked being the person. He liked being the hero, like I think it really fed his ego because I don't think he's the like toughest, sturdiest, most self-assured person on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And I think and that doesn't mean that he's like a weakling or anything. That just means like maybe he's not as confident in himself sometimes. And so being able to be the person who who helped you, who was there for you, who was the shoulder to cry on, or metaphorically or literally, was good for his ego. It made him feel like he was doing something worthwhile, or like he was the man, right? And I thought, no, I'm not wrong. I'm looking for the depths of my soul, man. Okay, so I think right now this is some heavy Nine of Swords energy. I mean, that's what popped up here for you. Elaney, I think that, and this is not the cards telling me this or anything, but I think from one woman to another, like you put your piece out there, just like I was telling Pearl a minute ago. I tend to value telling the truth, putting it out there, and then kind of letting it drop, like that mic drop moment, and then letting it go. Uh, So you've put it out there at this point, and I think now, unfortunately, it is kind of time to let it go. You started to see someone else, yeah, and you've got Ronnie. You said you were curious whether or not engagement was an option. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ronnie sees you as wifey material. Okay, so I don't think you should pursue this whole thing with George at this point. um, some people are brought into our lives sometimes just to help us get through a period of time. Okay. And I genuinely believe that. I think, um, there have been a lot of people in my life who were in and out very quickly, but they got me through some rough times. And I think that maybe that's what he was meant for. To me, it doesn't look like he has staying power. It looks like he is somewhere else right now. He is with someone else right now. And it looks like he's honestly very happy. And so, it still says single on his Facebook. Well, and that might be the case. Um, he might be, if he's not the most confident person, he could be really happy being the hero anywhere. And I mean that with love. Okay. Let's let's what's the outcome with Ronnie? Oh, you were wondering how your message was received? Ooh. All right. So your message was received as an ending. Death card, Tower, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Um, it wasn't received as anything that is gonna change his mind from where he's at right now. Will your message change him for the good? I think you're putting a lot of weight on that message. I don't think that he wanted to hurt you. Okay, I kind of feel like that's what that tower is about. Is that he did not want to hurt you. Okay, that's not what he was shooting for. But something else came out of somewhere. And again, I feel like it's old, very committed energy that resurfaced, and so he's taking a shot with that right now. Um, and in the moment, he's very happy. Now, here's the deal with new relationships, we're always very happy. In fact, if it's a new relationship and you're unhappy, that's a good indicator that it's probably not a solid relationship, right? Like if you're not getting butterflies in the fields, it's probably not good. So I would assume that if he's in something new, if he's trying something new, that it would be making him happy right now. But I feel like the message was taken as kind of like the nails in the coffin. Um, well, I hope he doesn't either, but that's typical behavior of people in general. We tend to not let go of things very easily. Um, mm, I do kind of feel like when whatever his his thing is right now runs its cycle, he will be back. With that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, like it is. Well, you've only known Ronnie for 4 to 5 weeks, so don't get crazy, don't go rushing into anything. But with Ronnie, the outcome right now is the world energy. So this really is a new opportunity, and it's a positive. It's a positive opportunity. So I do think you should move forward with them. But I think you should remain cautious, as is just good practice. As an adult in love, it's dangerous to throw your heart around. So, but I would say right now, the thing with Ronnie looks pretty stable, and you don't have overwhelming negative or positive feelings. Like I said, it's clear that it's still very new. So anyway, Alani, please be careful, okay? Because you really put it in on a George here. You really he really caught the feels, and for whatever reason he did not ante up, and I don't know what it is, but to me it's some sort of fairly serious something. uh like I said, to me it looks like past energy. I almost wonder if someone didn't come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, I'm pregnant with your baby. Right. No, that makes sense. Well, I hope that helps. I'm sure that's not what you want to hear. I'm sure you want to hear like he's devastated and heartbroken, but that's kind of the way it works typically. Is one person is actually really devastated and heartbroken, the other person just kind of like gets up and walks off. Like it's I don't know. I don't understand how that works. I'm always the person who's, devastated. So I've never gotten lucky enough to be the person who's just like, nah, it's cool, it's whatever. But well, we're running like an hour and 15. Tell them that I want both, What do you mean? Of us to move on in a healthy way. Gotcha. That's the tough part, moving on in a healthy way. Let's do an oracle card on Ronnie here. Ooh. Okay. So this one looks like it might get a little complicated too, Alani, but I don't want you to panic, okay? All right, so we got a couple cards here. So the first one is worth waiting for, okay? Divine timing is at work in your love life. And, like we said, if you just met this guy 4 to 5 weeks ago, hey, this is still very fresh, and you're getting over this other situation. So rushing is not a great idea anyways. So worth waiting for. So I feel like let's take that as a reminder, like play it safe, keep it cool. But also it gave you the separation card. So time apart from your partner is on the horizon, which makes me feel like, maybe Ronnie is going to have to go out of the state for work for a period of time, or maybe you might have to, or there's, some sort of temporary something that is going to maybe slow down your dating process. Okay. And that might actually be a divine something that's happening for a reason, right? To keep you from hitting the gas, right? Because it's easy to do that, especially when you're in a new relationship and it's going really well. It's easy to be like, come on, just move in with me. Here's a key. Like, um, and I say that, having some experience, so I kind of, I don't want you to panic with what that means, but the next card you got was heart to heart conversations. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. Okay. So, and that may be something that you have to do with regards he travels to another state to see his son. Okay. So, being open about, either your comfort or discomfort with the distance, how you guys kind of plan to make that work. Right. And then very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay. And in my mind, this is not necessarily about saying what you want, but clearly deciding in your mind, because this is manifestation. Okay. Now, I don't want that to be obsession, because that's different. Okay. I want you to manifest what you want. Now, that doesn't mean that Ronnie's name is that fills in the blank. Okay. That means I want someone, I want to, let's leave the name part blank and let's fill in all of the pieces that we actually want from someone, right? We want someone who values and understands us and appreciates, us for who we are. Someone who challenges us, right? But supports us. So I feel like it's kind of giving you that reminder of start manifesting. Yes, like true love. I want someone who truly loves me, and define true love for yourself. What does that mean? Because I think a lot of people think that I know, okay, so I was married, and we were married for about a decade, and for a long time I thought that love was something you fell into and you fell out of, and it took some really rough heartbreak to recognize that love was a choice. Every single day to love is a choice. And those people who stay together for 50, 60 years, they kept choosing to love each other despite all of the things that drive each other crazy, the hardships that life throws at you, because it invariably does. There are options. Exactly. There are options. Okay. So don't think that Ronnie is it. Okay. He might be, but he might not be. Okay. George was meant for something. He was in your life for a reason. And maybe it was you talked about how he helped you spiritually and he was there, right? So maybe he was only meant to be there for that period of time. And that's okay. That happens, right? And it sucks when we fall in love with those people, but again, that is sometimes how life works, right? So worth waiting for and very soon, right? Connect those two, okay? Manifest what you want, but then recognize that you, right, are worth waiting for what you want, okay? I hope that helps. It's a pretty good spread. It's interesting. That helps. Okay, good. I hope so. I'm sorry to hear about what happened with George. Oh, I get it. I get it. Hey, Pearl. You still there? Cool. I wasn't sure if you were still there. Absolutely. Alana, you'll have to check in with me on one of my lives here. Say like another month. Let me know how it's going. Listening to tarot relaxing. Yeah, I agree. I actually go to sleep most nights listening to tarot, which some people think is like really strange, but I don't even really have to be paying attention to what the reading is. Just cool, absolutely. And I'm trying to get better with this whole YouTube thing. I've had a lot of difficulties getting my videos to upload. They get stuck in YouTube purgatory. Tarot ASMR sometimes. Okay, maybe I'm not hip with the lingo. What's ASMR? I watch tarot. That is annoying. Yeah, it is. It's super frustrating because I feel like I'll have these fantastic readings that like make me cry and then I can't get them to upload. I have this pile of end of February readings that were just amazing and they will not upload for some reason and I have no idea why. It is super frustrating. I've tried 14 different cameras. That's why I'm working off my webcam today because I was just like, maybe it'll be more consistent. I don't know. But yeah. Check them out on YouTube. Yes, absolutely. Oh, tarot ASMR. I'll have to look that up then. Yeah, there are some people, some tarot readers that I will watch intentionally because they're so relaxing. Just the way that this is, very calm, and I don't really think of myself as like calm and relaxing to listen to because I tend to be kind of high strung and and my energy changes. I feel like depending on the energy of the reading, so it's not uncommon for me to be like, if I do. For me to be just yelling through the first half of it and then I'm tearing up the second half. Like it's kind of all over the map sometimes. Pearl, do you have a YouTube channel for your comedy? Like, have you started trying to pub yourself that way? I'm at a loss. I'm not sure. Anyway. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Again, this is Kayla with Lady in Red Tarot. You guys are, welcome to email me, set up personals, ladyinredtarot@gmail.com. Oh, stop, Pearl. Stop. Okay. Also, you're hilarious and your little emojis crack me up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. I'm sure you're freaking perfect. I will tell you, I get super nervous every single time I go live, which is really, I'm pretty comfortable talking to people, but I I still like the whole time I'm like, okay, what's going on with my lipstick? Like, what's happening? You know, it's the whole thing. And I get real stressed out, like, oh, I'm gonna say something stupid, or I don't know. I never know what's gonna pop out of my mouth. So, but yeah, you shouldn't avoid cameras, Pearl. I'm sure they are incredible and amazing and beautiful. And you know what? When you're funny, I find that funny translates no matter what. So you don't need to worry about that. Just like genuine translates and honest translates and real translates, right? Doesn't matter what you look like. Y'all in the hearts are making me happy. All right. Well, I think we're probably done for the evening. I'm not seeing any new people coming in right now. It's been a small crowd tonight. Not that it's ever a huge crowd, which I'm cool with, but I hope you guys come back and see me soon. I'm sure I will be live again in the future very soon. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Yay, thank you. Ciao. That sounds super fancy. Good night.